Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Hello, welcome. It's the day after the game because obviously I was busy in the evening, so I wasn't able to get the review out. But that was fun, wasn't it? As the latest game for Grimsby ended in a quite exciting, what was classed in the EFL as game of the day against Harrogate as it ended Harrogate Town 3, Grimsby Town 3. Now, Grimsby pretty much dominated the early stages, and it was, I wouldn't say end to end, but it was one of those sort of games that Town, in one sense, are fairly grieved not to have won it, but also pleased to have actually got something out of it. The lineup for the Mariners was unchanged from last weekend. It was Christy Pym in goal, Harvey Rogers at left back, Doug Tharm, Cameron Janet and Jaden Sweeney, with George McEachran in that holding role, with Dar Burns on the left, Kieran Green and Evan Curry in the middle, and Charles Vernon on the right, with Jay's Cabia in attack. And obviously the team for Harrogate was James Balshaw, Lewis Cass, O'Connor, Bradbury, Burrell, with Bryn Morris, Evans, Taylor, Smith, Duke McKenna, and McCluskey was their main striker up top. And it was, like I said, it was an end-to-end sort of game. I think the Mariners had a very good first 20 minutes, dominated to a point, and just before half time they did hit the post. Kieran Green hit the post, but you could see the movement was good, the passing was good, it was sharp. But same with Harrogate, you can see that Harrogate are not a pushover side. They are a side that you have to take quite lightly, and it proved the same again. They're a good side. Like I said, they got some solid players in League Two, and so the first half ended level, but the Mariners did come the closest to scoring a goal, like I said, with that Kieran Green shot, which hit the post, and they had the better of the play in the first half, so they'll be very disappointed to go in level at half time. But I don't think anyone expected the kind of second half that we got. But I think once Harrogate scored on 58 minutes by Smith, it was a good move by Harrogate, really. It was a foul by Kieran Green, and it was a quick free kick which was taken. I saw some people on social media say he shouldn't have been allowed to take the free kick quick. You can actually ask the referee if that can either be by a nod or acknowledgement or something. You can ask the referee to take a free kick quickly, and so there was nothing Harrogate did wrong there. It was a foul, unfortunately, and we just didn't react. I don't think we closed Smith down quick enough. It was a nice arrow shot into the corner, though, low into the corner. It was a good finish by Smith. Obviously, it took until it was about 10 minutes to respond, and we did respond more so after obviously Jimmy Walker and Justin Amazo came on and became an absolute pest, you would say, was Amazo. But it was a good ball, sort of across by and dummied a good crossing. I think it was by Malazor, I believe, and obviously it got dummied as well, but it found its way over to Vernon. Vernon with his first league goal since Chesterfield in September of 2024, and it was a nice finish. I thought it was his second. I then looked back and realised it was an assist last week, plus it was probably the goal against Peterborough I was thinking about. But it was nice to see Chaz off and running in the league this season, and I will say it again, a fit Charles Burnham is a strong Charles Burnham. But then we just seemed to have crumbled a little bit. Almost straight away, within a couple of minutes of Burnham's goal, we kind of we made a rod for our own back, really. Harrogate were playing the ball around quite nicely, played it out, went a little bit wide, and Christy Pym came out and made a tackle which the Harrogate player sort of fell over. And I have seen replays of that. Christie did get his hand to it, but like our penalty last week against Crawley, you can't be giving the referee decisions to make, and we did, and I think if it had been us, I think we'd have been screaming for that. I'm going to say the referee got that right, even if he got it wrong, because it's 1 for 1 really. We had a penalty that some people say shouldn't have been given. They got the same. Elliot Taylor just knocked it. Ellis Taylor, apologies, not Elliot. Ellis Taylor just took the penalty and calmly slotted it to the other side of Christy Pym. Pym went one side, he went the other, and went 2-1. And you could see everyone was starting to get shaky, starting to get nervous. Harrogate started to get on top, greatly so, and another good move not long afterwards made it with a substitute, made it 3-1 as the former Salford striker Conor McElhaney came on, and after some neat play by Harrogate, got it at the edge of the box and arrowed it right into the corner. Beautiful finish, to be fair. And you're thinking, how have Town gone from level and within pretty much within 5 minutes ended up going from 1-1 to 3-1? And you're thinking, oh no, this isn't going well, is it? But to be fair to Grimsby, we kept going, we kept pushing, started to get some momentum, and we scored 2 goals in 14 minutes. Started to pass the ball around better again, using Justin's menacing trouble, and in the time that Justin Amazo was on the pitch, he was involved in 6 sort of either goal involvements or attack involvements. He really started to be a real pain in Harrogate's side, I would say, and he was involved in the second goal. Obviously, Jamie Walker got the assist in the end. It was a great strike from about 22 yards out, a cracking shot by Harvey Rogers. You wouldn't have seen a shot like that. Harvey struggled a bit at right back as well. He got a fairly early-ish booking, but it had been sort of tempted. But he definitely made up for that with that strike. I read it right into Belshaw's left hand side. Belcher in the end with absolutely no chance of getting to that, and a great strike by Harvey to make it 3-1, 3-2, sorry. Again, Town just kept prodding, winning a lot of throw-ins, winning a few corners, really making it troublesome for them, and it was, felt like it was going to be a frustrating day. But to be fair, they brought Cam Gardner on late on as well. I mentioned that name because he had the assist for the third goal, and what we were looking for last year was someone to run in behind and run on to things. I think we found that guy, I think, at the moment, but it was a good long ball. I believe it was by Pym, and it was flicked on the head of Cam Gardner and flicked on, and KBO was able to run onto it, out-muscled the defenders. I think it was Burrell. He out-muscled him and got there right before, and a beautiful finish to slice it into the corner for a, I would say, deserved draw, deserved 3-3 draw. We kind of did to them what they did to us last season, which very, very reminiscent in a way. A 2-goal lead and with not long left, and sort of blew it. Well, they've kind of gone and done exactly the same thing. But the Mariners were on top for a majority of the first half. They're on top until the penalty was given. I think first half they did sort of dominate. Second half was very even, but Harrogate they're a good side. They are a good side. I don't think we can. You can't underestimate Harrogate. They made it difficult, but if there's one a good positive to come from this, it was good fighting spirit and good quality in spells as well by the Mariners, and we come away with a 3-3 draw. That leaves the Mariners after 2 games in 5th place with 4 points, which I think if you'd have given us a point at Harrogate to start with, I think we probably would have taken that, especially from being 3-1 down. We definitely take that. We don't have a good record, as I mentioned in the preview, at Harrogate. We've only ever won once at Harrogate, and we've only beaten them basically twice in the history of playing them. So to actually go to Harrogate and get a point, they kind of showed as well. Harrogate showed that their win over Bristol Rovers wasn't a fluke. A very good performance by them, but a very, very deserved point. We probably there was a header just before the equaliser by Cam Gardner, who, to be fair, Belshaw made a cracking save from. I'm sure Cam can't believe how he didn't score, but it was a great header and it was a fantastic save. So all in all, Town could have won the game, to be fair, but at the same time, it ended up 3 apiece, a point apiece. We'll take that. I know some people are disappointed with the refereeing performance. I thought the referee did okay. He was consistent. No, they're not the best. And if you did hear the commentary, he's a physiotherapist, the referee that took charge. So he's not a full-time referee. So at the end of the day, I thought he was consistent. Whether his decisions were right, that's up for debate. But a good point by the Mariners. Well done to the over nearly 1,100 that went to Harrogate. Great support. I heard David Artell in his post-match, and Also, Charles Vernon in his post-match mentioned the supporters. We do have some of the best supporters, if not maybe the best supporters in the league, in League Two, definitely away from home. The official attendance there was 3,562, and I'm going to say that as it's a point gained. We could have got more, but it's a point gained. So, well done to the lads. Great comeback, great fight back from 3-1 down to end 3-all. That is the review. The review done for this game. If you did go to Harrogate, how did you guys find it? And how did you guys see the penalty? I have to agree with the referee. Even David Artell said it's probably one of the things that he did get right. He got the big one right. Obviously, some fans disagree. I'd like to get your thoughts on that and what you guys thought as we remain unbeaten in League Two. And just before we finish, I will be back tomorrow with a preview for the Carabao Cup first round tie between ourselves and Shrewsbury. That's coming up this week. But in the meantime, guys, leave your comments down below on what you thought and on what you thought about the overall fight back performance. Let me know down below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit that bell button. That'll let you know when the Shrewsbury preview goes live. And I will see you guys in the next preview, and including the match review from Tuesday night coming up. So in the meantime, guys, up the Mariners, and as we lie in fifth, it's a good solid start to the season. I will see you guys very soon in the next one. Ta-da for now. Bye bye. Up the Mariners.